Good morning, class. Welcome back to our lesson, to our next lesson. And last time we were looking at recipe costing, and I'm glad to say that you have taken it very well. And thank you for the submissions of the assignments, and the ones that I've marked, they look quite good, and I'm impressed. So today I want us to continue with recipe costing, and so that we can be able to iron out any issues. Like we ask any questions that are going to maybe come up. One of the things that I noted about when marking the assignments is that maybe we are forgetting maybe to name the table, because at the table, each and every table has to have a name. You cannot maybe put in a figure in any assignment or any maybe edition or maybe publication without a name. It has to have a name, like what is this, why is it there? Okay, so because we are doing recipe costing, the table is called the recipe costing sheet, and of course it has to have a name because we are doing standard portion costing for a particular establishment. So a particular catering establishment, like last week we were using Mkenya restaurant, Mkenya hot dishes. So you have to have a name like that. So let me share my screen a little so that you can see how it's supposed to be, because even last time we had the same, we had written the name on the notes. So I don't know why, maybe we forgot about it. Some did it, but did it upside down. You will also see that in your comments, the comments that I've given. So this is how it should look like. Okay, so it should have the name of the restaurant, then the name of the table. This table, it's called the recipe costing sheet. Then it should have the name of the dish there and the number of portions. It is very, very, very important that you have those. Okay. Yes. So then you have, of course, the table itself with the columns. The columns are supposed to be 6. So ingredient, unit of purchase, quantity required, cost per unit, cost of amount used, and the recipe cost. That is very, very important. And remember, we have talked about this. This ingredient is just that. Like if it is flour, you write their flour. If it is unit of purchase, here we are writing either kilogram, liter, piece, or bunch. Then quantity required, we are writing the amount that is required, like what the recipe is asking for. If it is asking for 120 grams, you can write 120 grams or 0.12 kgs. Then cost per unit, we are looking for it from the price list that I gave you, that I sent to you. Then the cost of amount used, we are calculating from the quantity required times the cost per unit, and then whatever you get, you post on the cost of amount used column. Then the recipe cost, we said we are not going to affect it until the end. Sorry, until the end there. I don't know. Maybe yes, until the end there. That is where we are going to post our recipe cost. And we said the recipe cost is actually the sum of all the cost of amounts used. Unazi add zote pamoja, whatever you get, you put here. And that means it has to be on the same level as the last ingredient. Don't have the last ingredient here and then you post it here. Okay. Yeah, it has to be on the same level. If kama imeishia hapa column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your last ingredient was here, then your recipe cost should be posted right there. Don't go and post it down there. Okay. Yes, that is one thing I thought we needed to maybe come clear about. So you have to make sure that you check that your establishment, you have a name of an establishment, and you can name it anything. You can even call it your own name, or the name of your parents, or the name, a name that just maybe intrigues you in one way or the other. You can put any name there. Okay, then there's also something else that we need to also look at, the estimates. We talked about estimation, right? We said that we are going to estimate for herbs, spices, and condiments. Okay, so when we are talking about herbs, we're talking about all the leafy shrubs, or rather leaves of the shrubs, vitu kama dania, parsley, mint leaves, and such other things. Those are herbs. When you see any any recipe asking for herbs, then you know that you are going to estimate. Then we have spices. Here spices, we start with garlic and ginger. Then we have all those other spices that you know: turmeric, pilau masala, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, black pepper, white pepper. All those we also estimate a price, and we said that our estimate should be something between 1 shilling and 10 shillings. Between 1 shilling and 10 shillings. Okay. Yes. So don't estimate more than that. Don't estimate more than 10 shillings. I saw someone who did maybe very high, 20 to 30. And ameonyesha vizuri sana their estimates, which I felt was rather too high according to what is required. Now, there's some good news there. I mean, like when we are seeing this table, sometimes we tend to imagine during an exam, I mean, am I going to remember all the columns and such? But when you're doing your NEC exam, of course, the NEC body provides you with the recipe costing sheet. They actually have them printed, and maybe our college is going to copy them for you. We are going to have them copied enough so that you have enough. Even if maybe haribu some place, we can still give you another maybe set so that you can be able to do your work easily. So now, this costing has to be done before you sit your production practice exam. So this is something very important because we have to do this. There's an exercise we call planning from NEC. They bring us the examination papers, tunazifungua right there with you, and then we give you these papers, and then you're supposed to make a menu, and then cost for the menu, and then get us a food order list, which you are going to be doing maybe next week or that other week, because next week we might be looking at the meal costing. Then we are able to do what? We are able to actually give back the original and the duplicate to NEC, and then you remain with your triplicate. So for planning, and then now the day of the exam, you come to the exam room and you are given the duplicate, or you can still use your triplicate, and cook now. Okay, we shall be doing all that here, and I hope it's going to be interesting. You have any issues, you just let me know. Another thing that we have to remember about the costing sheet is that we do not cost for water and stock. So next time, don't cost for stock. Just cost the last, maybe the item that is next to the stock, and just leave the stock. So for example, if stock is the last thing on your recipe, don't cost for it. Don't cost for water, because water is found in the mfereji. It is in the operational costs. So don't go costing for it. Then of course for stock, we are going to boil it with the water and some ingredients there. So what we do, we add them in the food order list. Okay, we add them in the food order list, and maybe have them bought for the making of the stock. And generally the stock you shall make during our normal classes, but during the exam the college is supposed to provide the stock, so we make a lot of stock for for the students to use. And of course, you have to remember to use it, because no teacher is going to tell you until now use the stock when the examiner is there. So it's, we do it, use it every other time. So during the exam, we are not going to task you to do it, but it will be there. Okay. Then another thing about the recipe costing is that we talked about the portion cost, the standard portion cost, and that is what we talked about. We said that we gave a formula. We said that portion cost is equal to recipe cost divided by the number of portions. You remember that? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll show you that. So we said that the formula for portion cost is equal to recipe cost divided by the number of portions. So if your recipe cost was 550 and your number of portions was 15, then you do 550 divided by 15, and whatever you get is now the price, the price for just one plate of that food, or maybe one portion of that food. Okay. Yes. So maybe I have this Nino here, and I want us to do this together, just for a recap, to see that we have actually been able to get this. Okay, so this is our recipe right here. It is for a plain cake for 12 portions, or rather for 12 people. And the ingredients given there are 500 grams of flour, 300 grams of sugar, 300 grams of margarine or butter. You choose one. So when we are posting here, we are going to either post butter or margarine. You cannot post both. Okay. Then we have eggs, 6 pieces, baking powder, 2.5 teaspoons, and milk, 15 ml. Okay, so now if you're now told to cost for those 12 people, of course you will go back to this and have it right here. This is plain cake. Number of portions here, we have 12. Okay, so then of course we take the ingredients. We say there's flour, 500 grams. So we post flour, 500 grams. So I will write it in kilograms, 0.5 kgs. The unit of purchase there is kilogram. Then we have sugar, 300 grams. Sugar in kilograms, 0.3 kilograms. Then we have margarine, or use margarine. It's also sold in kilograms. Then we buy 0.3 kg. We also have eggs. Maybe sold in a tray. And then you need 6 pieces. Then we have baking powder. How much was the baking powder? 2.5 teaspoons. It's sold in kilograms, and it is 2.5 teaspoons, and 1 teaspoon is supposed to be 5 grams. So 2.5 times 5 is 12.5 grams. So that is going to be written as 0.0125 kilograms. Okay, and then we have milk. Milk sold in liters, and we have 0.015 liters. Okay, so then you go back to the cost, the price list. Where the price list was okay. So there is our price list as sent to you. So we are going to look for these things here. Kuna flour. There you have flour. Kuna wheat flour, 1 kilogram at 70 shillings. So we go back and post flour 1 kg is 70 shillings. Then sugar. I hope you can see. What documents tend to look very small. Can you see it? Then we have margarine. I will use Prestige at 250 shillings.
Yes, you can see it.
You can see it. Good morning, Burak. We are trying to call you and you are off, kabisa.
My phone didn't have enough charger.
Okay, sorry. Okay, karibu sana. So then we go back to sugar. So sugar 1 kilogram is 130 shillings. We go and post there 130 shillings. Then we go to eggs. Where do you think you are going to find eggs? There we have our eggs under our dairy products. So we have a tray is 395 shillings. So 395 shillings. Then baking powder. Baking powder is back there, up there. A 100 grams packet. A 100 grams packet for 25 shillings. So that means a whole kilogram of baking powder is, according to the instructions given here, is for 100 grams baking powder. We said the price for 1 kilogram is going to be 25 times 10, isn't it? So it is 250 shillings per kg. So 250 shillings. Milk 1 liter was can you see milk? Fresh milk 1 liter is 100 bob, isn't it? Okay, So there we go, and post our 100 shillings. So then now you're supposed to multiply quantity required column with cost per unit column to get the cost of amount used. So 0.5 kgs times 70 gives us 35 shillings, isn't it? Okay, then 0.3 kgs of sugar times 130 shillings gives us what?
39
shillings. 9 shillings. Okay, I want them to be aligned in a way that it is even very easy to add them up. Then we have 0.3 times 250. We have
75.
75 there. Okay, then we have eggs. Tray moja is 395, and you know a tray has 30 eggs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So how much money will six eggs cost?
2,370.
Sorry?
2,370.
It is 6 pieces of eggs, and the tray is 395, Burak.
We are multiplying, right?
No, we cannot. We are only multiplying what is going with.
Oh.
Yeah. See, look at the unit of purchase. If the unit of purchase is different from the quantity required, we need to do something about it, isn't it?
Yes. 65.8.
Yes.
65.
65.8.
65.8.
65.8. So I think we can do 66.
Yes.
Okay, 66 shillings. Then baking powder, 0.0125 times 250.
3.125.
3.125.
125.
3.125. Okay, then we have milk at 0.015 times 100.
1.51.
1.1 shillings.
1.51. Yeah.
Apana, it is 1. This is liter.
1.51. Oh, this is a liter.
This is liter. Yes. So
0.01.
sorry about that.
It's still 1.51.
1.5. If it is 0.015 liters, this is L, not 1, so it will be 1.5 shillings. Okay, so now we add this up and we get what? What do we get when we add all of them? We get 35 plus 39 plus 75 plus 66 plus
219.65.
219.65.
Mm-hmm. One, 2.5 plus 1.5. 219.625. That is our recipe cost, isn't it? That is our recipe cost. Okay, and of course, after that, we need to calculate what? We need to calculate the recipe cost. I mean, the portion cost. So we said portion cost is equals to recipe cost divided by portion cost is equals to recipe cost divided by
number of portions.
Number of portions. So there we go. Number of portions. So we say 219.
219.625 divided by. What's the number of portions? Shamekwam.
Yeah, by 12. Sorry, by 12, not 15, isn't it? Okay, so 219.625. Okay, so what do you get?
18.30208. Let's just say 18.3.
Yeah, screen share is gone. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can you see what I've written? The formula and the number, because I cannot see the number here.
Only the formula.
So where is the number? And now?
No.
Imeanza kuleta issues. Okay, so but you got it there. You already got the idea, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so that divide by 12 was giving us what?
18.3.
18.3. 18.3 shillings. So that is generally the portion cost for that cake. So that is worth 18.3 shillings. Okay. Okay. So then let me see whether I can get my webcam on. All right. So then I think with this we can generally make it in recipe costing, because first of all, like I said, we have really responded well to this. We have quite gotten it in the right way. So now issues may come in where maybe a recipe is going to do what? To ask for something like maybe tells you courgettes in pieces, ama tomatoes in pieces, and of course in the price list you have tomatoes in kilograms, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So if it gives you tomatoes in kilograms in the price list, and then the recipe asks for what? For pieces, then you might find yourself being maybe unable to calculate. But it's good that you like estimate. All right. We have these big nyanyas that we say that go for like one is 125 grams. So like out of maybe ukinunua kwa kilo zinakuja unauzwa nyanya kama 8. Okay. So that nyanya is 125 grams, so 0.125. Okay, so you can be able to calculate them that way. And a big kitungu can go for 100 grams, the very big ones. Then medium 75 grams, even a small onion around 50 grams. So you, as long as you understand, you can actually, decipher the weight by just looking at it, or maybe feeling it with your hand. Then you can be able to estimate. And I'm sure by the time we are done in that kitchen, we will be able to actually decipher weight. You can actually just look at an amount of flour and tell this is 100 grams or this is 250 grams just by looking at it. And sometimes you will actually find that being quite daunting. Like how do you know that this unga is 100 grams? But if you keep on measuring it once, again and again and again, it sticks somewhere in your mind. Ikimwagwa tu hivi unaona this is around 100 grams, hii ni around 500 grams. Okay, so do not feel worried about such. You will actually be able to get them. Okay, then we have other things like bukegani. What is a bukegani? Bukegani is a what?
A combination of spices that are wrapped in leek. Is it
Actually,
leek?
a combination of herbs, isn't it? Herbs,
Yeah, that one. Yes, herbs.
Yes. So a combination of herbs, a mixture of herbs tied together, mostly fresh herbs, tied together maybe with leek or a rib of celery, and then added into food. Once you cook your food and it has extracted all the flavors and the aromas of the herbs, you remove the whole bunch again and discard. That is a bukegani. Of course, they will ask for these in pieces. Okay. So, of course, remember those are herbs, so don't go costing for them. Do what? Just do an estimate. Okay. Yes, so estimate for bukegani. What other thing? We have maybe they will ask for a slice of bread. So if they ask for a slice of bread and you have been given bread in kilograms, how do you go about it? We already know that our bread has 400 grams. I mean, the normal bread of 400 grams has how many slices? Let me see if people are keen.
15.
Yes, around 15 slices.
13.
Hapana, hiyo ni mkate gani iko na 13?
15.
Most of them have 15, 16 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, around 15, 16. Yeah? So let us work with 15. So if that bread is 400 grams and it has 15 slices. So like how much is how many grams is one slice? You do 400 grams divided by 15, isn't it? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So and then you put it maybe just write them down somewhere. You as your your notes, just like the conversions in the book for like maybe one teaspoon is equals to 5 grams, one dessert spoon is 10 grams, 1 tablespoon is 15 grams even. And then have your conversions also for the same, like one slice of bread is this much, one large tomato is 125 grams, one medium onion is 25 grams. You go putting them down like that so that it is easier for you when you need to calculate. It will be easy, isn't it? All right. So I think with the recipe costing, I think we don't have any issues unless maybe we need to. There's anything that you need to discuss. And I remember someone saying that there are no onions in the price list. Can we check now?
Yes. There is no.
You said there are no onions here?
Yes. I used another price list that a friend that is ahead of me sent me.
Okay. Can you now see my price list?
No.
Hey. it has basi imeacha kushare because it shows I'm sharing. Imeanza hiyo kazi yake ya tabia mbaya. Okay.
Sha,
Yes.
I wanted to ask. So when it is kgs and you and the other, when it's kgs you multiply. When you see the pieces and the liters, you divide to get
No,
the cost of amount used.
you when it is when the unit of purchase is in kilograms, then your quantity quantity required is also given in kilograms. You only need to if you give your quantity required in kilograms, you only need to just multiply the cost column na the quantity column. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
like
when it
where
is
we have written flour is 0.5 kgs, and the price cost per unit for the kilogram is 70 shillings. So you just do 0.5 kgs times 70 to get 35. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In the milk we have given in liters too. The cost of unit was a liter. The milk was 0.015 liters times 100, isn't it?
Yes.
So we got 1 shilling and 50 cents. So the only issue there is the eggs, because the eggs have been given in a tray, like the unit of purchase is tray, but we are using 6 pieces.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and remember that the 6 pieces, I mean, we know one tray has how many eggs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that one tray has 30 eggs. So if it has 30 eggs, 30 is 395. So how many are 6? It's around, is it 31? 13 shillings point 1 something, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, times 6. So that's
So
why
you got my price. You got my price list. Not the price list. You got my assignment.
Yes, I got your assignment. I also responded. I have responded for you and for Godfrey. Sijarespondia ni nani Onacha because hata sikuwa nimeiona imeandikwa nini a name that I did not expect.
You responded in the email.
Yes, I replied in the email. I gave my observations there.
Oh.
Yes, and I also saw the other the others that I'm trying to mark. I mean, and hand over automatically the way we are supposed to do it in kwa system. Okay, so hizo zote nimeziona, kila mtu ame hand in. That's quite okay. Even Lorato says she has amepeana, so maybe she will only check maybe the way she wrote my address. Maybe that's why it don't get to me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So any other issue? Lorato? Tabitha? Yes?
I was asking about recipe costing in the examination. How many marks is it?
Recipe costing is going to be together with the menu and the food order list and the timed order of work. So tunaifanya ikiwa nini moja, and it accounts for 30% of your practical exam.
Oh.
30%, and that is very important because if you can do this very well, hata ukishindwa kumaliza kupika utakuwa poa. Sometimes we notice some people doing so badly in the kitchen, lakini walifanya some very good job kwa planning, and they are able to beat their friends who actually cooked better, but now maybe their planning was poor, you see. Yes. So it means if you plan very well and cook very well, you are getting an A, a distinction.
So the cooking has a timer.
Yeah, you cook in 4 hours.
Oh. And your TV.
That's a lot.
4 hours is a lot of time.
Yes, very, very a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. I mean, like you're only cooking unapika starter moja, main dish protein moja, vegetable moja na starch moja na dessert na coffee. Those are vitu kidogo sana, just like the way you cook back at home.
Cha, you said you don't, however, we do not cost for the stock.
You don't cost for the stock. We shall only ask for the ingredients in the food order list. You remember to ask for your bones and the vegetables. Alafu unatengeneza.
Cha, why did you say the estimates are too high?
The estimate is supposed to, we already said in the notes that the estimate is supposed to be between 1 shilling and 10 shillings.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So when the estimates are more than 10 shillings, it's way too much.
My restaurant has a name. It's called Burak Restaurant. I named it Burak Restaurant.
You did not write.
I wrote it. Check when. Maybe the photo. I didn't take the photo well.
Maybe you did not take the photo well, because I saw I saw your admission number, and then the recipe costing sheet, and it is not even labeled as the recipe costing sheet. So I don't know whether you wrote Burak Restaurant.
It's here. Let me show you.
Okay. You can show me.
Okay. Nakataa the camera.
Nakataa. Okay, and I had given you rights za kukuwa presenter, so that you can show me. It's okay. I don't think it's so much of an issue. Okay. Godfrey, are you sure you don't have any question or anything to add on to what we are saying? And James too. James, talk to us as Godfrey is typing. Okay, Godfrey says he's okay. Okay, and Loretta?
I'm also okay.
You're very okay. Tabitha? Okay, Tabitha also says she's okay. So now I'm sending you something on my on WhatsApp, a book, a practical cookery textbook. So then you cost for Russian salad. It's written right there. Okay, so I had written it here on the share, but I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay. I can see it now. All right. Okay. I think this is the one for the Wellington.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like this recipe costing that we've done for the plain cake,
Mm-hmm.
the number of portions is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're told to convert, where do you multiply? Say you're converting for 30 or something. Where do you multiply again?
If you're told to the recipe says for 12, and then
You convert for 30.
so you will take, that is the new number,
Yes.
the new number of portions. So you do that, you divide by 12.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, and then what you get, you use it to multiply each and every amount of
That will be a
ingredients.
new portion.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
Meshika.
So once you multiply you multiply the ingredients with the new index, whatever amounts you get now is what you will use for the 30 portions.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I think that way we are going places. So I want us to maybe briefly discuss what we call meal costing. Meal costing is now costing for a full menu. Remember, now we have done recipe costing, okay, for one recipe. Now, when you're told to do meal costing, you are supposed to cost for a number of recipes that are maybe according to whatever you're cooking for your exam or for your customers, depending on the situation where you are. So if you're cooking for an exam, of course, we have the starter, we have a protein, a starch, and a vitamin, or rather a vegetable, and then we have the dessert and coffee. So all those things now you have to cost for each one of them. And then of course we are going to still use the recipe costing sheet, only that we are now going to call it the meal costing sheet and add 2 columns. So now it has 8 columns. Okay. So that we shall be doing in the next class. That is why I don't want to I don't want to bombard you with so much today. I want us to continue practicing with recipe costing, so that when we come to meal costing in the next class, we'll be better. We'll be in a better place, isn't it? Yes. So what we are going to do, maybe for now, like I said, I'll send you the book, and then we shall cost for Russian salad. And of course, I will give it as an assignment. I'll post qua dashboard so that maybe you can see the rest of the information, and then we can try it out. So I'll send you the book. You can save it maybe kwa laptop yako. It will help you in the future. Okay. Yes, so I think that with that, I'll give you two of those recipes so that you can go and try and see maybe how it goes. And if you have any issue whatsoever, just talk to me in the group. And actually, don't ever feel shy for asking a question, because we are all learners and we are here to learn. Okay, don't feel like if I ask, people will think like sijui aje. Don't think about all that. Okay, we are learners. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that is all.